Hi friends, thank you all so much for coming back to craft with me today, and welcome if you're new here to my channel. My name is Alyssa, and today I'm going to show you another way to create a stacked or layered envelope journal. I did do a flip through of this one here, which I will link down below. So this one I did make a little bit differently than some of the previous envelope journals that I've done videos on. So I did add like a few extra pages in here just for more journaling space. So I'll show you how I did that as well, but we're just going to jump right into it. As you can see here, I'm using more junk mail envelopes to create this. So I've just gathered a few different sizes here, and you can pick as many as you want, but I'm just using 5 here. And all of them do have the lids still, except for this one here. This one's going to be like my front cover. So it's okay if this one doesn't have the lid because I'm going to do something a little bit different for the front cover. As you can see here, I'm calling this one my front cover, the first little envelope here. I kind of just have a side pocket, a pocket here, and then of course the pocket from the envelope. So you don't need the lid for that one. If you don't have lids on any of your envelopes, that's okay too. You can always create your own lids with your scraps. We're pretty much not even going to see the lid anyway. So let's just start with actually stacking our envelopes. And we're going to see if we just want to adjust the height of any of these. So actually, since this is my cover, I want to hold it this way because I'm pretty much just going to fold this part up. So I'm just going to set that aside and check out the sizes here of all my other ones and just see if I want to change the height of any of these. So let's see. I'm just going to bring my paper trimmer over here first. And I probably do want to cut down my envelopes. So this one's about 9 inches. So maybe I'll cut it down to like 7.5 inches. Okay, because I'm going to be holding it this way. And then my next one here, I'll probably want to cut down as well. Let's say 8.25. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like, all layered up. So I like that. And now I'm just going to bring back this envelope here. That's going to be my cover. And I'm going to just, you can just eyeball it and fold this bottom part up to wherever you want it to. You can also just hold it on the longer side and just score it. I usually like to do like 2.5 for my pocket. So I'm just going to score it right here and bring this part up. So this way we're going to get a little side pocket here. This will become a pocket, and then we'll also just have the pocket here from our envelope. So that's how I pretty much do my cover piece. And I'm just going to move this again. And for the rest of our envelopes, we're just going to hold them like this, facing the front. And we're just going to take the lids and we're going to fold those also just right over the front there. So we're going to do that for all of our envelopes. And our last one here. Okay, so I'm just gonna start from the back for now. And I'm going to just show you how I'm gonna construct this. So I'll take my back two envelopes, and basically the lid of this envelope is gonna go inside of this envelope here. This part's gonna go inside here. And now this lid is probably gonna be bigger, especially if you're doing a stacked or layered envelope look. So what I do is I just cut off these two sides of my lid here. And I just eyeball it and just cut off a small piece on both ends. So if you're going to make your own lids, they don't really have to be the exact height of your envelope. They can kind of just look something like this. And we're going to bring back this envelope, and this lid is going to go inside. Just like that. And then we're going to have the lid from this envelope still, and this one is going to go inside of our next envelope. So right here, same kind of thing. It's going to be a bit bigger than your envelope. So again, I'm just going to cut off these two sides of my lid here. Alrighty, we'll bring back the next envelope and just put this lid inside, and so on and so forth. So you can really just keep on adding as many envelopes as you want. And if you want to, you can just go ahead and glue all of the lids inside as you go. But I just kind of want to show you guys first how this is getting assembled. So that's all of the envelopes that I'm using. So once you get to this last envelope here, or I guess technically your second page, you want to take back your little cover here. And this is basically just going to get glued right on top of the lid here, like that. So for this lid, I still am going to cut down the two sides here, just so it's not showing. All right, so that's just going to get glued right over top of my lid. So that's basically how I'm going to attach these all together. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and glue everything together first. Sometimes I do like to cover up my envelopes first, but for this journal in particular, at least for me, it's easier to just glue everything together first and then decorate. But before I do glue everything together, I also need to figure out which envelopes I want to utilize the window here to create the side pocket that we all like. So I think each of these do have windows. So I'm probably going to use all of the windows. And so I'm just going to cut off all of the edges here of each of my envelopes. So I'll start with this one here, and You can just cut it off with your scissors, but sometimes I like to have an exact measurement. So when I go to cover up my envelopes, I have that measurement to go by. So maybe I'll just make this one 4 inches wide, cut off this little sliver. Okay, my next one here, I'll probably do 4 inches wide again. This one here, I will do 5 3/4 wide. And then my last one here will also be 5 3/4. Okay, so now all my envelopes will be open on the side for a side pocket. Now I'm going to go ahead and just glue everything together. So let me start here again with my last envelope. And I'm just going to pop some glue here all over what's left of the lid. And again, we're just going to slide that inside of our next envelope. Okay, and then if you want to as well, you can put some tape over this lid here, just so when you slide things into your pocket, they don't get stuck on the lid or anything like that. But you don't have to do that. It's all just preference, so I'm probably just gonna put a few pieces of tape over top of this lid. Ow. I just scraped my hand with the sharp edge there of the tape. Okay. So that's all set there. We're going to take this lid and do the same thing. Grab our next envelope, and this one's open, so super easy. We can just slide this right in. Just gonna pop some tape over that lid. I don't know why I'm doing it in sections, but that's what we're doing. Okay, that page is all set. Moving on to this lid. We're just gonna keep doing that. And grab our next envelope. This one's also open, so I can just slide this right in. Okay, and then when we reach this page, which was our second page, we're gonna have the lid here and our little envelope we're just gonna glue right over top. And we're eventually gonna glue that down too, but just for now, I'm gonna just leave it like this. So everything is attached and layered up nicely. And here's the flip through of the before. So now I'm gonna go ahead and cover everything up. I do suggest to just cover up the fronts of your envelopes first and do the backs last, because in the back part here, this is where I added in extra pages. So you have the option to do that. And if you want to do that, I would suggest doing it before you cover up this back piece, of course. So I think I'm just gonna cover up the fronts of my envelopes first, and then I'll come back and show you what I do to add in the extra pages, even though it might be pretty self-explanatory, but I'm just going to cover these up off camera because I've recorded myself covering up envelopes plenty of times. So I'm just gonna do that off camera really quick and come back and to show you the rest. Okay, so I have covered up the fronts of all of my envelopes here. And I guess I could have covered up the back here, but I'm just going to flip this one over and show you how I put in some extra pages here. So these are the other envelopes in case you wanted to see those, but let's go and just grab some scrap papers. And these are just going to be my extra 2 little pages that I'm going to put inside of the envelope here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to score the left sides of these scrap papers that I have. And I'll probably score them just at like 1/2 inch. Actually, this one already is scored, so there's my tab there. And then I'm going to score this one as well on the left. Whoops. So let's just do 1/2 inch as well. I mean, you could just fold the side over too. You don't even have to score it. But there we go. And then I'm going to just glue my tabs inside of the envelope. So this one's open, so I can just easily open this up and then place this sheet down. And make sure it can fit nicely. Make sure everything can close up. And that'll be an extra page. And then I'll do this one over top. So really you can add as many pages as you want that will fit. You can make them any size you want. So it's great to just use up some scraps as well and just have fun with it. So this one I'll just put right over top. Okay, so I'm just gonna do 2 pages here, and then I'm gonna grab my sheet that I've already cut out, because once you're done with these sheets, you can just cover up the backs of your envelopes now. And I do want to make sure that I put a line right here down the edge just to ensure that my pocket here on the side is closed up. So really just glue all over this. And then you can put your sheet right over top. Okay, and then I guess I should close up the top there. So don't forget to do that. Okay, now this page should be all set. And then you have these extra pages for some more journaling. All right, so we have that. And then I'm probably just gonna do the same exact thing to the rest of these envelopes. And then see in the very back, you have this opening too. So you could add so many more envelopes or just regular sheets of paper. But once I get to the back here, I'm just gonna glue a whole sheet down and close this up as well. And yeah, another thing you could do is you could, when you do glue another sheet of paper to the back here, you could just do something like this and fold this over, and you could have like a flip out page as well. So there are tons of different options that you can do with these kinds of journals. And that's why I love these projects so much, because you could make the same kind of journal like this, but it'll come out different every time. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish covering this up. I also forgot to mention that I did cut this envelope down just a little bit on the side, just so I could see this last envelope in the very back. More layers to see. So now I'll probably just do all of the decorating and finish this up off camera, and then I'll come back and show you the finished result.